organizer of the Florida Games Developer Association, Indie Dev Cup judge at Unreal Florida, the official sponsored Unreal Engineer user group for South Florida, and the AR/VR track producer for Miami Science Fiction Film Festival winner at the 2018 Comcast Universal NBC Telemundo Hackathon. Do you see why I read that now? Oh my God, Pravi! Please welcome Pravi to the stage for everything I know about human nature I learned from making video games.
Hey guys, so we're actually doing this as a group presentation. We're the Florida Game Developers Association. And if you want to join our meetup, that's it right there, meetup.com/game-developers. So we're the largest game developer group in the whole state of Florida, and we are affiliated with University of Miami, FIU, and FAU. And we have financial sponsorship from the largest gaming companies in the world. And we get regular speakers and sponsorship from Magic League, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera. So tonight we're gonna make all of you into game designers, or social impact game designers in 15 minutes. And it's gonna be awesome. And whoever's interested after this short talk, we have a meetup on Thursday in Miami Beach where we'll pair you up as newly minted game designers for social impact with programmers and artists to make your first game. And we actually have a lot of celebrities involved in our group, including Pitbull. So we'll have sponsorship and it'll be a great time. So this whole summer you can make a game around your idea. So we'll introduce the other two speakers now.
Hey everyone, I'm Danny. I'm a software dev, make games on the side, and I'm part of the Florida Video Game Developers Association. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Isabel Haining. I'm an FIU student and I dabble in game development as well. I have participated in several competitions, so I have some experience.
So right now we have 3 audience plants, including Evan, Emily, and Naomi, the 2 presenters and the back there. So basically we're speaking to them, but everyone here who has an idea about how to make the world a better place. Basically, our slides are basically for you guys. Basically, think about what your idea is and how you can turn it into a game, because if you think about it, right, gaming is actually 15 times bigger than movies and music combined as an industry. And when people play a game, they play for hundreds of hours, while you might be watching a movie for 2 hours. So you basically have a captive audience that people really could pick up on your idea. So we'll get started now.
So this is a quick overview. We got to be a little quick, so just read it at your leisure. It's basically, we're gonna go over what players want, what players play, what do they expect, and then Prav's gonna talk about blockchain gaming. Okay, so what do players want? This is Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokemon. And next we have Frank Capra, obviously we should all know who. So, what is it that drives us to make video games? It's basically our love. Our love for the challenge, our love to create, and our love to be nerdy. Next slide. So, what do game designers have to do? Designers must have the ability to assess whether something's fun for themselves, combined with the ability to listen to the opinion of others, analyze successful games, excite players, and come up with original ideas. All of these are very difficult tasks to accomplish. What do they actually do? Well, I wouldn't say that, but that's why indie games are so popular these days, I believe. What do players play? So I'm gonna ask all you guys, do you like games? Raise your hand. So what kind of games do you guys like?
Borderlands. Adventure.
So RPGs, good example. Strategy games, another great example. All of these have to do with like immersion, right? Challenging the mind, coming up against the challenge. So that leads us to our first point. Why do we play games? Well, we want to challenge ourselves in a way that makes us feel comfortable. I mean, we're not going up against someone else, we're trying to beat ourselves at something, And I think that's what we love about games. You'll learn life lessons when playing games. people want to socialize. You know, gaming back when I was growing up was very isolated, but you still had a couple friends hogging the controllers while you sat and watched and played, right? But these days, you know, everything's connected. The internet's connected. I remember the first MMORPGs coming out, chatting with my friends online and creating new friends all over the world, you know, while grinding or whatever. Yeah, games aren't antisocial. I mean, I don't believe they ever have been. So the origin of games is tied to a social experience. As I mentioned, we have multiplayer online games, we have multiplayer local games, right? There's massively multiplayer games. I mean, there's first-person shooters now where you can get up to 64 or more players. Yes, of course.
Also, remember the split screen days, and not to mention social games are a big thing right now. So if you play games like Quiplash, that would be another example.
So, what's interesting right now is you guys probably don't know this, but the most popular social network in the world for tweens is actually Fortnite. It's not Facebook, it's not anything else, it's Fortnite. So let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, and the effect of Fortnite is seen everywhere. I went to a hockey game and like they're even showing the Fortnite dances and all the little kids are dancing to them and they pan the camera over to the kids dancing. So, yeah. Games are a way to connect. Players want a dynamic, solitary experience. Now, this is something, you know, people are split on. As we were talking about the social aspect, there is also the solitary aspect. With RPGs, for example, you can be presented a, you know, a giant story, take you to another world, a fantasy world, and you can spend hours and hours and hours in this game and just immersed in the world. On the other hand, players want bragging rights. So when you compete, I mean, I think this is why the trophies and the award systems got so popular. We want to brag to our friends. I got the platinum trophy in Guilty Gear or whatever. Emotional experience. Like I said, games are essentially, well, games can run the gamut of just being a simple game where we challenge ourselves, or like an RPG that presents a story. And even just accomplishing a game can fill you with so much emotion, so much accomplishment, you know, so much. Of course.
And all right, so since my main type of video game are solitary games, I also want to add in my own thing. I especially really like how video games give you the ability to explore different worlds that you would never be able to, you know. For example, in The Sims, I can pretend I have a functional life and friends and family members that care about me. But, you know, it can be explored in many different ways, not just narrative-based games, but also, you know, open world games. And finding more and more things, enabling us to explore curiosity. That is something that appeals a lot to gamers. Oh, okay. Players want to fantasize, so they want to escape to a different world. People want to be transported to a world more glamorous than their own. So, for example, in Grand Theft Auto, you can own a million fancy cars, which, well, unless you're crazy rich, does not happen in real life. And it's something tempting. And, oh, yeah, there's something tempting and enticing about engaging in taboo activities. So, for example, you would never steal a car, but in Grand Theft Auto, you know, it's fun to steal cars. Why not? You can get away with it. So, what do players expect out of video games? There's many different aspects of game design that need to be taken into account. Some of them include a consistent world, an understanding of the game world's bounds, reasonable solutions, that they work. So, for example, if you ever played a puzzle game and you put a bunch of items together that you think will make sense and it doesn't work, you feel disappointed, right? Yeah, 90s gaming, honestly. Direction, the ability to accomplish a task incrementally. Immersion, some setbacks, not too easy. A fair chance. No need to repeat ourselves. No, and not getting hopelessly stuck either. And to be a doer, not a watcher. So consistency means what?
While you're talking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did not notice the slide. Okay. But what we mean by players expect a task to be accomplished incrementally is for various sub goals to be provided along the way. So, think of a to-do list, and if you have one big goal, and then there's multiple things you gotta do, like let's say bake a cake, stop by Publix to get the ingredients, find a cooking book with a recipe, etc. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, go back to last screen for a second. So, Nintendo is a master at presenting this incremental tasks. I think everyone here can remember the first level of Super Mario Brothers. And honestly, did any of you read the instructions on how to play? No, you were just given a controller and you kind of figured it out. And the game developers were smart enough to know this. They plant a Goomba. You run into the Goomba after you figure out how to run, and you die. Then you figure out how to jump. You jump into the Goomba. You see the shiny block. You hit the shiny block and you find the mushroom. They presented all the game mechanics in that first little bit of that first level for you to figure out. Then they just add more enemies and they add more complexity to the jumps. They make the jumps harder. As the game progresses, it gets incrementally more difficult. Nintendo's a master at designing games. I'm sorry. So players expect to be immersed. You kind of want to forget that you're playing a game. There's a big meme running out there from the Call of Duty game series where the main character's at a funeral and then it says on the keyboard, press F to pay your respects. That takes people right out of the game, You want to just naturally live in the game. You don't want to be taken out and reminded that you're a human living in the human world. Players expect a fair chance. They don't want something too difficult. You want to feel accomplished, so you want to be able to continue. Again, with the same, no need to repeat yourself. You don't want to do the same thing over and over too much. You'll get bored. You'll get frustrated. So as a game designer, you have to find this balance of how to make this game, enjoyable, but also accomplishable and also difficult. I think this is changing a little bit with Twitch and everything, but players want to play. They don't want to just sit and watch someone. But I don't know, could be wrong. Players don't know what they want, but they know when it's missing, and I think this is true of everything in life. When you get comfortable with something, it's really bad when it's gone. When they see a new game and there's nothing new about it, there's nothing challenging, I think eventually they'll just put it down. So, Prav's going to talk to you guys about blockchain gaming.
So with our startup, we are the only Florida company that was chosen to pitch in the first blockchain gaming conference in San Francisco. And this is actually our pitch video for CNBC's show, Comcast Live Labs as well. So this is a social impact game we made for dog shelters, and our first launch conference is going to be the Broward Humane Society. Anyways, I'll just explain it. It's what we did was all the
lovers to become friends with each other and go on dog dates and actually interact with each other. We also built a series of really cool games that exist in the real world and offline as well. And the connecting technology between the real world and offline is blockchain. So our interesting aspect of blockchain, there's a few blockchain projects already out there for pets, but they're all like virtual pets, right? Our actual blockchain projects has a virtual pet that's related to a real world pet in a no-kill animal shelter. So if you feed a virtual dog at our platform, you're actually feeding a real dog in a real no-kill animal shelter. So multiple people can get together to adopt a dog, feed a dog, and play games and actually support these shelters and real dogs. And even if you don't want to play the game, we're creating a plugin so other dog-friendly applications and stores can actually help donate through our blockchain algorithm to actually support dogs throughout the world in no-kill shelters. So we're modeling about $100 million in revenue within 2 years, and we have a good start. We already built an MVP. Go sign up for it. Put your dog on our platform. Lookatme.com. Thank you.
So that game is already existing. Our next game we're building this summer, and you're all actually welcome to participate. It's called Jurassic Park. We're actually putting all the world's giraffes on blockchain and making games out of them, including with Metro Zoo and the world's largest wildlife refuge in Africa. So that's our talk. So thanks.
So yeah, any questions?
Yeah, so I didn't catch, are you actually using crypto? Oh.
Why don't you guys, if you have a question, come up so everyone can hear you. Introduce yourself, Mike.
Oh, hi, I'm Naomi. I'm at the booth over there. You all need to come see me. Yeah, we are running the Extinction Rebellion chapter in Miami, and please come find out what we're about because it all applies to you and you all are going to care about it. Okay, my question was, does the blockchain gaming actually use, is it called blockchain gaming because you're actually using cryptocurrency? Like can you explain the underlying layer of like how the money gets to the dogs? And this is cool, this could be used for a lot of amazing things, just like the search engine, Ecosia. You need to change all of your default search engines on your browser to ecosia.org. So I see this being like the same kind of tool. This is revolutionary, and yeah, I want to understand the technicalities more. Okay, thank you.
It's a good question. So, with our revenue model, we are the only globally ranked cryptocurrency organization in the state of Florida. We actually reserve 10% of our daily revenue for social impact projects. So at first, we're just going to fund this internally, to local Miami startups. But we'll also have a $1 billion fund out in Hong Kong that we also are going to give ideas to as well. So we actually have a couple more audience plans. So I know, Emily. All right. Okay.
Does anyone have any more
She's-
questions?
Don't worry. You can get him after.
All right. So it's coming up. So
All of the revenue that they make from search, like ads,
Talk about organizations helping.
they use it.
So a lot of us are in healthcare. Shared decision making is a complicated process
Yeah.
where you talk to the patient, they have to weigh things and they have to go through these processes. And we send the patients home with a checklist of forms where they say, what would you do? Even for colonoscopy, it says, do you mind drinking a laxative? And you rate it and then you get a score. Based on what you were talking about, I'm imagining that there could be an app, it could be a game where you kind of play this game and it decides for you better shared decision for what you want to do based on your risks and benefits. Is there like something going on?
yeah, definitely. That's actually a great use of gaming because it will engage your patients and your end users. So basically, this summer, we've already hosted a large. It's called a game jam. Basically, get people together for a weekend or a day and make games. So basically, we did a game jam for kindness already. We did a game jam for empathy, and afterwards or on Thursday next meetup, I'll show you guys his games where when we did a game jam for empathy, right? People designed games to get people to really understand each other, right? Not just just talk down to someone, really get into their shoes and stuff, not be patronizing. So it's very, very intricate game design decisions too. And I think that's the same thing for your thing too, where yeah, you want people to take the medical directions too, but in a way that's fun, but actually empowering for them as well. So there's a lot of psychology and game design that we'll get into. But yeah, it's a perfect use case about like, making it fun. Gamifying is something that's like not gaming, but we can use some gamifying aspects too. It's a little bit more manipulative. So our next event is actually, so last question. So our next event, if you guys are interested, is going to be at Capital One Cafe in Lincoln Road in Miami Beach from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. next Thursday. So we're actually going to have some Broadway celebrities there who will be your mentors as well for the game jam if you're interested. So 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Capital One Cafe in Lincoln Road next Thursday.